Hey, what's up, y'all? This video is for anybody out there who has parents that gaslight them and put them down. I love my parents to death, and I'm sure they love me. I have wonderful parents. They've taken care of me. They bought me things I never really wanted for anything. I always had clothes, always had food, always had everything. Grew up nice environment, all that. But I would always be feeling anxious and depressed around them. And as I got older, when I moved out away from when I didn't live with any of my family, when I lived by myself, I didn't live with my brother, I didn't live with my parents, then I realized that it wasn't me. I realized that it was certain pressures being put on me. There were people putting me down because when every time I got back around them, I would feel like it would be certain instances where I wouldn't feel human. I'd be around them and I would feel less than. I'd feel undeserving and worthless, because of some of the things that they would say. And it's like it's not like they would say like, "Oh, we hate you," but it's just little passive aggressive stuff. And it's like they see that you've made some milestones in life. They see you made some achievements, and it's not good enough because they either wanted you to do something, or they told everybody, all their friends, that you were going to be this or you were going to be some college person. And now, because you haven't done that, whatever you want to do with your life, they're not going to take you serious, and they're not going to take it serious because it doesn't make any money yet. But what people who go to school don't understand is that when you take a chance on yourself, not everything is gonna you're not just gonna pick up something and it immediately makes money. If that was the case, nobody would ever do anything. Everybody would give up on everything, and it wouldn't be nothing out in the world except for textbooks and universities. And that's not the, like, you wouldn't have no TV shows, you wouldn't have no television, you wouldn't have no actors, people who love to go, like my parents love some movies, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they don't understand that in order to make what you want happen in life, and you have to take a chance on you. Sometimes people don't want to sometimes people don't want to go out in the world and do what they see everybody else do. Sometimes people don't want to walk the path of everybody else. College, job, work for 30 years. Sign me up. Not everybody wants to do that. And sometimes people can't understand that. And sometimes people will feel disrespected if you want to go out and do something different, because I guess they're going to feel that you think you're better than them, or your way is better, or you're smarter, or you know something better. Because it's like, I have this way that's foolproof, that works. Who are you to think you have a way better than my way? Some people act like that. Some people are like that. And it's rough and hard having parents like that, because it's like it damages you, and it damages like your creativity. It damages how you view yourself. And like I said, they bought me things. They were very polite, very nice, like very loving people. But when people put you down, when people talk about your flaws, when people bring up your past, even if it's in a joking way, even if it's a passive aggressive way, even if it's very light and fair seeming, it's still abuse. People can what they'll do is like you'll be around them for a little while, everything will be all good, you'll be happy, and then they gotta put you down. You'll be around them for a little bit, everything will be good, then they gotta put you down. It's like they are not content with seeing you not being bothered by the things that they have to say. And it's like I've even shifted out of it. I've even put myself in a different place mentally, to where I got over it. Like, because I always say, like, tell your feelings how to feel type thing. Like, I would, because I learned that from somebody, and it's been very helpful. So I talk to the negativity, I tell it to leave, and I've overridden it. And then sooner or later they gotta say something else. It's just like it's a constant fight. And it's like you love people, people love you back, but it's like, why are you constantly trying to put me down? Why? And then when you bring it up, when you say something to them about it, they gaslight you and they say that's not what they're doing. But how am I feeling like that if that's not what you're doing? Then they want to call you paranoid, or they want to call you sensitive. That's wrong. And that's dismissive, because it's like you're dismissing the fact that what I'm seeing and what I'm saying is happening isn't happening. And at that point, you're like you're gaslighting the person so that they'll question their own insanity. And it's hard to deal with people who say they love you and who will treat you good, right? They'll treat you like they love you, treat you good, but all the while it's like there's like this dark like energy, like there's like a nastiness, a negativity just like floating around the room, because people feel some type of way towards you for whatever reason that they will never let you know. And if you have like, if the person has like a narcissistic disorder or something like that, they will never be able to admit that they did something to make you feel a certain way, because in their mind, they're the parent. They could do nothing but good. They bought clothes for you, provided a home for you. I did it. We did everything for you boys. We did this, we did that. Like there's nothing that they see that they can do wrong. And like I said, very loving, very providing, always been there, always bought stuff, always fed, always clothes, Christmas gifts, all that. But there's this anxiety when I come around them, and I know that they love me very much. They love me so much. I know that, but it's a constant draining. It's a constant anxiety. It's like I'm walking on eggshells. It's like, you know what I'm saying. It's like there's this brick wall up. It's like something that's making me feel like anxious, anxiety, intense, and stressed. And then they got the nerve to be like, "Oh, you're you're so tense, you're so stressed." But it's like that's the gaslighting. Just because when I'm not around you guys, when I'm not around them, I don't feel that way. And I love I love them to death. I love them with all my heart. But when I get around them, I get feelings of anxiety. I get feelings of being thrown under the bus. I get feelings of depression. And it's like when I get away from them, it immediately goes away. I don't feel these issues when I'm around them. And try and bring stuff up to people like that and maybe try to get a change out of somebody. But no, no, some people don't see themselves as doing anything wrong. Okay, some people don't see themselves as doing anything wrong. Some people can't do any wrong. If you come to somebody and tell them that they did something wrong, some people are going to be absolutely offended by that. And it's just like you try to talk to them about certain things, and because it's like my parents are educators and they've always been able to keep a job, so they don't understand that what I'm going through. But the thing is, i've been I've been gaslighted, and I've been like, when I talk to them about how I've been treated at jobs, I like they ignore it. But after a while of talking to them about it and talking to them about it, I see that they've ignored it because they display some of those same attributes and some of those same qualities at the people at those jobs, man. Like the other day, my dad said it's a dog eat dog world. Like, I understand that, but if that's the case, explain that to me. Like, what would I have to do so I don't get people at a job trying to annoy me out of my position, you know? And it's like I'll try to go to them and explain to them. Ever since I was 16, it's been the same thing. I haven't been able to keep a job, y'all. The longest I keep a job for is maybe like a year, and then the people get tired of me. Antics start, BS starts, and I can't have people. I've been through so much in my life that when people like bother me and stuff like that, I would freak out in the past because I didn't know how to handle all that pressure, and I had a lot of emotional anxiety and a lot of pressure built up in me. And people can see that. People can see that you've been through a lot. But the thing is, because you're chosen, like because you have this anointing from God, because your energy is high, people just feel that they could treat you however they want, because it's like, oh, you're privileged, you have this special gift, you have this special thing going on. We could treat you like dog food because we're not special. And when you try to go to people and tell them that, hey, I'm special, it's something special about me. Yeah, it's something special about you, Art. They're about to put you in a straitjacket and put you in a special bus. You can't go to people. It's like Noah when he was trying to build the ark. What are you building that ark for? Oh, God came to me and told me it's a flood. You like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how people look at this whole chosen thing. You try to go to them and tell them that you're being attacked at your job. People are being spiritually wicked. They're not going to want to hear any of that. All right. But the thing is, the reason why, like, I'm starting to see that these jobs are real evil and these jobs are real demonic. And like, a lot of people that make it in these jobs are evil and demonic as well, because in order to stay in those type of environments, how do you stay in that type of environment? It's like birds of a feather flock together. And I've literally been ganged up on by more than one person at a job, yo. people will do things to purposely stress you out and try to piss you off. And then when you go to try to, like, I've gone and tried to talk to my parents about it, and they just, Drew, it's you're the problem, because it's been happening to me for years and years and years. And it's like, I'm the nicest person, man. And because when I try to explain, when you get gaslighted, and when you try to explain something, when you've been trying to explain something for over 10 years, and it's been happening to you almost every other day, every week, because I haven't been able to keep a job, but I've always had a job. You understand? Like, I've always worked. I just haven't been able to keep a job. So I've just went from job to job to job to job to job to job to job, all those jobs, and I'm the problem out of 50 some jobs. You telling me out of 50 some jobs, it's me and I'm the problem? To me, that doesn't make any sense. I tried, and I'll stay at a job, I'll be at a job for a little bit, and it's like, after having the same thing happen to you so many times, because like my first job was Burger King. I was 16, and people were doing it to me there. I would come home frustrated. I'm like, yo, these people are getting on my nerves. They're trying to buy. Just ignore them. That doesn't help. That did not help me. That ignore them wasn't the answer. I tried to ignore them, and these people would try even harder to try to get my attention. Before I knew what a chosen one was, before I knew what energy vampires were, before I knew what narcissists were, before I knew what gang stalkers were, I was just 16 years old, just trying to work, trying to just do what I needed to do so I could get out of any type of bad situation. And like, I would go from job to job to job and wouldn't last long, because these jobs, the people at the job will always try to attack me, always try to upset me, always try to piss off me. And I was the hardest worker there. And like, after a while, and like, these jobs, they'll talk bad about you and be like, oh, you show up late. How come I didn't show up late when I first started? The signs of people show, like, a major sign of somebody showing up late is that they don't want to be there. When I go there in a good spirit and I get treated like shit, am I gonna want to go back there the next day? Anybody with common sense that gets treated like dog shit when they go back to a job, like, that next day, they're gonna be dreading going back, because they know that negative energy is there. They know that negative energy is gonna be there the next day. So it's like, before they walk in the door, it's like they got like a 10-pound boulder on their back, because they know they're gonna get mistreated, and there's gonna be nothing that you can do about it. You try to go to HR, there's nothing you could do about it. HR, you might as well call that the hell room, because these jobs are demonic, and they're ran by demonic forces and demonic spirits. But the thing is, the average person, you can't tell them that, hey, this job is ran by demonic forces. They're gonna look at you like, this person's crazy. He just said the word demonic. It's just a word. Like, you say certain, like, that's why people are a little slow. You say certain words to certain people, they're not gonna pick up on it, because it's not their experience. These people aren't having a multi-dimensional experience. They're not having the experience where they could see the worst in people. And that's why they don't like you, chosen one, because you see the worst in them. You see all their flaws. You see everything bad about them, but you treat them good. But the thing is, people don't like having somebody that's all knowing around them. They don't like you with you having your discernment. The fact that you're an empath, you're highly sensitive. People, oh, you're sensitive, you're sensitive. No, I'm highly sensitive. And it's like, when people try to run game on you, when people try to play a fool, when people try to play games with you, you can see right through it. You see right through all their games, all their antics, all their BS. And it makes them upset, because who do you think you are to be able to see right through me? Who do you think you are to know what I'm up to? Who do you think you are that has this special power to know certain things and be able to see certain things in people? And I'm just a regular average Joe, or Jessica. They got average Jessicas too, y'all. But the thing is, it's like, these people want to control you. These jobs, they don't treat you like just an everyday average person. They want to control you because you have the highest vibration at the job, okay? And when they see you as a threat, because they see you're not going to take their foul treatment. They see you're not going to take their mistreatment. And it's to the point where, of course, you have to bite your tongue. You got to bite your tongue. But when people push you past the point of biting your tongue and not saying anything, it's like, they mess with you the first time, whatever. They mess with you the second time, whatever. They mess with you the third time. You're like, what the hell's going on? But whatever. But after a whole 2-3 weeks of this happening, You go to HR. Oh, well, just try something different. Go the other way. Like these people do not care. These jobs don't care. If you're not a demonic spirit, if you're not evil, they don't care what happens to you. These jobs, they'll let you go undergo any kind of abuse that you're willing to take until you leave. How much can this person take before they leave here? That's what they want to see. And when you leave, they're like, wow, that's all he could withstand. Whoa, we put her through a lot. We put him through a lot. And they laugh about it. They talk about it because they don't go through it. And that's the thing. They're so jealous that you have a connection with God. They're ready to disown you. They're ready to treat you like Joseph and throw you in a ditch. They're ready to do that to you, all because you're special. You have a special gift. They're ready to hate you and ready to have hate towards you. They don't care how you get treated, and they don't care how they treat you, because they all join together, they all band together, and they're ready to treat the chosen one like shit, because the chosen one has God in their life. All the people who treat you bad, they're really on demon time, and they have no hot sense of God, man, at all. They don't believe in God. They don't think he's real. They probably worship the devil, like literally, like who knows. Because these people are on a demonic frequency. And when chosen ones come around in our energy, we're positive, we're pure hearted, we're good people, we're charismatic, our energy is different. Like, people get jealous of that, and my own parents don't even want to hear what I have to say when I start talking like this. They say, Drew, you're crazy. Well, like when I go out in public and people do weird stuff to me, like they're like, people will get jealous of your life. Like my parents say, oh, the same thing happens to me too. That's what everybody says when you try to tell them about this chosen stuff. Oh, you're not special, that happens to me too. That's called gaslighting, because you can see it as clear as day that you're getting a different level of treatment than other people out in this world. And you can see it as clear as day, but people don't want to recognize you as something special. They just see you as the person that they knew their whole entire life. Like, oh, we made you. We used to change your diaper. We birthed you. We've been knowing you since you were a kid. There's nothing special about you. But it is that, I mean, people treat you weird. And you understand that, okay, when I go out in the public, I'm going to have a different experience than everybody else. And then when you try to explain that to people, they say, no, you don't. Your experience is no different than mine. And that's gaslighting. How are you going to tell me my experience is different than yours? You've kept all your jobs. I haven't been, like, bruh, they don't want to admit to the fact that there's something special about me, and that's why people are hating on me. Because, like, when people don't want to admit that it's something special about you, they're probably low-key a little jealous. And like I said, they love me a lot. They've always taken care of me. They've always been there. But as soon as I'm talking about this job stuff, as soon as I'm talking about why people are treating me some type of way, they go blind, and they turn deaf, dumb, and blind. And it's like, this is my experience, and it's rough. And it's like, you will have resentment for people that you are trying to explain a situation to, that they act like it doesn't exist. I'm telling you, if you're chosen and you have parents, and you're trying to explain this to them, don't. Because you guys, it's not going to end well. And I'm just going to say that it's not going to end well. They're not going to believe you, and you're not going to submit to what they have to say, and you're not going to like what they have to say if they don't understand spiritual stuff or God or chosen or none of that. Because they're just going to say that you need some medicine. They're going to say you need some help. You need to go sit down somewhere, and we're going to get you some help. We're going to get you the help you need. And it's dismissive. And at that point, you just because, like, most likely, if you have a special gift, there have been other people in your family with special gifts before. And unfortunately, if those people weren't aware of how to use their gifts, and it made them lose their mind. Because being a chosen one and going through this, I can see how people can lose their mind. Like, people have referred me to the family member that has now lost their noodles, you could say. And it's just, I just shake my head, because it's like, I'm smarter than you, I'm healthier than you, I'm better than you, I look younger than you. You know what I mean? Like, I take care of myself better than you. And it's just like, I didn't make the same, like, you didn't make the same decisions they did. Like, I may not be where I'm supposed to be, but I've made smarter choices than a lot of people. Like, I don't have kids, I didn't get married. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of things that I did that people feel some type of way about. And it's like, well, I had to do that. and I had to do all this and take care of you and this, that, and the third, and you this, that, and the other. So it's a lot of like just weird stuff, like just like what's the word I'm looking for? Just jealousy, man. Just like low key jealousy, I guess, because maybe I didn't have kids, maybe I didn't get married or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's like I could sense it and I could feel it. And it's like we'll be out chilling and then it'll be a backhanded compliment. You know, it's like something will be said to bring you down. Something will be said to make you not happy. Because like people could see that you're happy, they'll see that you're feeling good. And then it's like when I get around them, it's like I'm feeling too good for them. Or it's like they have to bring me down to a level that I wasn't just at. Or it's like they don't want me to feel good. And then when I bring this up and when I say this, they ignore it. They say that's not what they're doing. They say you're too sensitive. You know, you're not getting paid off of it though. Nobody gets paid off of what they try to do when they first do it. Don't try to take shots at me and discourage me from wanting to be successful at something just because I'm not getting like this is how you know you're being gaslighted when you're trying to be successful. People will look at what you're doing and tell you that it doesn't make any money, but they'll ignore the fact that you have a job or you're working towards getting a job. People will ignore that. Like if you don't have it, let you not have a job, right? Let you not have a job. Let you be doing something constructive with your time other than just sitting around and watching TV and drinking beer. And oh, that does people will talk shit on you. Like you think because if you didn't have a job doing something constructive, you think you oh that's good. This is like no 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 no. Like they see it like people who are educators, people who are serious about that work life. If whatever you're doing is if it's not work related, if it doesn't create any money, then it's not going to be taken seriously. You're going to be looked at as a fool. You're going to be looked at as somebody wasting their time. But the thing is, if a person does, we all know, everybody who wants to be successful, we all know that success takes time. It doesn't happen overnight for everyone. There are some people who have an overnight success. God bless them. That was their opportunity. That was something that God did for them. Okay. Everybody's time is different. And it's like because people have given up on their dream, they want you to give up on yours, and you can't give up on your dream just because other people did. And it's like you have to keep going after what you want to do with your life. It may not be making you money right now, people may be talking down on you for it, but you have to keep going. You can't give up because eventually everybody who started out not making money on what they wanted to do made money off of it. When Bill Gates was building his computer, was he making money off of it? No. It was the beginning stages of it. When anybody starts anything, you don't make money off of it at first. And it's like, man, I done listened to so many success stories. Like bamboo trees take 5 years to grow. If you quit at the second year, you're not gonna have a bamboo tree. If you quit at the fourth year, you're not gonna have a bamboo tree. So it's like this is it's I'm just really smart, and people have always tried to gaslight me and make me think that I wasn't that smart. Like I've been called by like the sharpest, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Like who says that to their kid? You're not the sharpest tool in the shed. But it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like I know they love me, but it's like who says that? Why would you say that? You're not the sharpest tool in the shed. What is that going to produce? Like for real, I would not. I man, it's just a lot of stuff I've never said or I would never want to do anything to like a kid, you know. But it's like they love you, they take care of you, but it's just those things that they say that make you like scratch your head. It's just like why are you coming at me like that? And it's like after a while, like you're not going to want to be around people like that. It's going to make your energy go down. It's going to make you drained. It's going to make you tired. And it may be something as little as that. But because the energy it carries, the doubt, the insecurity, the negativity, okay, the pressure, the stress, the hate, the jealousy, the envy, like those little comments, they may be a little comment, but it's carrying all this energy. So it's just like, I was just chilling a little bit ago. Why would you say that? Why would you try to say that to bring me down? Why would you try to say that to make me feel bad? You see that I'm over here feeling good. That's not good enough for you? Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry that me feeling good bothers you. And it's like, now that I look back trying to explain all my issues at work and all my problems at work to my parents and stuff like that, now I see that they were also causing some of those things. They were also playing a part in that role. They also did similar things like that, my parents. And it's like, how long can you survive that? Like, you've been surviving it your whole life. You've got through it your whole life. And it's like, when you're an adult, you're just like, I can't keep dealing with this, because it'll make you want to take your brain and throw it out the window. And it's just like, yo, I'm like, they'll make you feel crazy. They'll make you feel stressed, and then act like it's nothing. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. Once people get like that, it's too deep for you to understand. And you just have to distance yourself, because at that point only God could help that situation. Okay, once people are deliberately making you feel a certain way with the things that they're saying, and then when you call them out on it, it's ghost town. They're acting like that never happened, it doesn't exist, because they don't want to take accountability for something that they did, because in their mind they're perfect and they could never do any wrong, because they've taken care of you, given you a house, provided you clothes, food, all that. That's not healthy, y'all. And you're gonna have to leave people alone and distance yourself and have some space, because like once it starts to take a toll on your mental health, that is no good. Okay, that's no good. Once you feel drained, once you don't feel like getting out of bed, once you feel like it's eating at you, like it's the subtlest things. They'll do something small and something subtle, but because they hold weight, because they're your parents, it's going to feel more damaging than just the average person. And it's like, when you try to go to them and talk to them about the stuff that happens at the job, it's like they don't want to hear it, because they're low key doing it to you too. That's why they never want to hear it. That's why what you're doing, that's why it was always you and never anybody else. Because if they had to admit that the job was doing that to you, they would also have to admit that they were doing that to you as well. And feel free to check me in the comment section if I'm wrong, because I'm just trying to figure this out. Why do I keep coming around people who do love me, but I'm always feeling like shattered at the end of being around you? I'm always feeling hurt or put down, or depressed, or like some type of sadness after coming around you. Like, usually when you hang out with people and you chill with people, you get around people, you're supposed to feel good afterwards, not tired, not drained, not feeling like somebody was taking shots at you or throwing shade at you. You're not supposed to feel like that when you go around the people that you hold near and dear. People are making you feel like that, you're gonna have to distance yourself, and have put some separation in between you and that relationship, for the better of you. Because you could only love somebody but so much. And this message is from the heart. This isn't for clicks, this isn't for views, this is for people like myself that are out here in this world. Like, people have came at my channel and seen that chosen one stuff and this and that. Like, if I didn't even really want to use, no offense, the chosen title, because a lot of people are using that. But my mentor at the time told me that was a good idea, and him having more subscribers and being ahead and being in YouTube, I was like, okay, cool, I just go with it. I could always change the name, but I mean, I don't know if that name is too like, I don't know if that name is like disrespectful to like God or whatever, but I hope not. But I mean, I think it's a cool name, so I'm gonna roll with it. But yeah, forgive me, y'all. I'm talking about a lot right now, man, and I'm going through a lot. But it's difficult. It's not easy having parents that act like that. And like I'll say it 1,000 times, I know they love me, I know they love me, I know they love me, you know what I'm saying? But why does this love feel at the end of it like I'm being slighted, like I'm feeling put down, you know? And after a while, because like it was like family holidays and stuff, I come around, be around everybody, and then people would just be like taking low-key shots at me, like saying things that they know would make a person feel bad. And it's like, I know love is there, I know you took care of me, all that, but it's like, why are you saying these things that bring me down? Why are you saying things that make me feel sad? Why are you saying things that lower my morale? And it's like this, like, after a while, I'm like, yo, they don't want me to be happy. And it's like, I can't really be happy around them. And then once I started to figure that out, once I started to see that, then I had to just dip. I had to like separate myself, because I have to be happy. My happiness matters. My happiness counts. I have a very high vibration, and I feel good. And it's like, that's the thing, having a high vibration and feeling good. And when you tell the people that you live around that don't totally want to treat you all the way right because you have a high vibration, that people at your job aren't treating you right because you have a high vibration, what do you think they're going to do? The only thing they know how to do, the only thing that makes them feel right about the situation, they're going to gaslight you. Because if they have to admit that the other people at the job are treating you bad because you're special, then they have to admit to themselves, even if they don't tell you, that they've been treating you some type of way that because you're special too. If they won't admit to you that it's something special about you and they try to turn a blind eye to it, they're ignoring it and they're gaslighting you. And most likely you've been gaslighted your whole entire life. It gets real on Druuill, man. So I really hope I picked the right name. I hope my channel is doing well because we only got real stuff to talk about and discuss from this point on. Because it's like I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it's to the point now where it's like I have to tell my story because I have to have something. I have to have some type of outlet. I have to have some type of way to express what's going on in my life. And I basically, I use this so like I know that I'm not alone. And I know that there's other people out there going through what I'm going through. And it's like, man, I might be the realest. I might be one of the realest people on YouTube, man. But like this is real, man. Like this ain't for likes. This ain't for views. Like this is real, man. And it's just hard, like trying to work, trying to be a normal human, trying to do what everybody else does, and you can't. No matter how hard you try, you can't. No matter how hard you try, I repeat, you can't. And it's like they think you have a defeatist mindset. If I had a defeatist mindset, why would I keep going back to jobs? If I had any sense back then, I would have started a business. But I mean, I had sense, of course, but you just my parents wanted the best for me, and I understand that, so they told me to get a job. But the job was not good for me. They didn't know that, you know. They were just trying to help me, trying to tell me what was best for me, so they told me to get a job. But it would have been better off if I had started a business, just personally. But they didn't know that. They didn't know I was going to have these issues. They thought I was just like them until I started going to work and they found out I was different. But who knows, bro? They probably gaslighted me into it, because good luck. They probably gaslighted me into it because they knew. People who raise you, people who are around you, they know it's something special about you, but they just don't want to admit to it. They don't want to tell you because sometimes they feel some type of way about it, and sometimes they might have a little jealousy towards you or a little envy towards you. It doesn't mean they don't love you, but it's just sometimes not everybody can be completely honest to you. It's like, say somebody raising Superman, but they don't want to tell him they don't want to tell him he's different and he has powers, but he's like waking up, like they catch him in the middle of the night while he's asleep. He's floating in his bed and shit. He's like lifting stuff up with his mind while he's asleep, but when he wake up, he just thinks he's normal, and they won't tell him nothing about it till he gets older and figures it out on his own that he was special the whole time. Like it's wild, man. And like they will literally try to write you off like you have a mental condition because you understand God, something that can't be seen, something that can't be heard, something that can't be touched. All right, just because you understand the spirit realm, the spirit world, and stuff like that, you can't talk to everyday people about that. People that don't understand it, it's going to be a lost cause. And it's like, okay, I get it. I'm cool with that. Not everybody's into spiritual stuff. Not everybody understands God. Not everybody understands spiritual warfare. I get it. Cool. But it's not like I'm going to them and trying to make them spiritual. I'm just trying to go to them and understand why people are messing with me and trying to chop my head off at work. And I'm telling you, y'all, I done worked at Burger King. I worked at McDonald's. I worked at Walmart. I worked at Home Depot. No, I worked at Lowe's, not Home Depot. I ain't crashed Home Depot yet. I worked at Lowe's. I worked at Wendy's. I worked at Taco Bell. I worked at where else? Yeah, the dude at the Taco Bell, he hired me, gave me the meal, and then never put me on the schedule. That's what happened with that Taco Bell job. I worked at a pool store. That was like one of the best jobs I had. Like that pool store job, that was chill, laid back. They just let me do my thing, man. That was probably the best job I had. But probably because I was young and I had time to myself. I'd be out in the warehouse. I had time away from people, so they probably didn't catch a whiff that. But yeah, man, I when I worked that job, bro, I didn't speak to nobody. I didn't talk to nobody. I wasn't friends with nobody, and it was like that's just how I'd be walking around my home, like growing up, like just hardly saying anything, not speaking too much, because I mean, it's like people love you, but you knew not to interrupt no games. You knew not to interrupt no this, no that. But it's like that's cool. I understand that. You know, people work all week. They want to watch their game and stuff. I understand. But I don't know, man. Like that whole like just like being gaslighted and people just like putting you down. And it's like I just remember just like looking. I ain't trying to put everything out there because I mean it's really not that bad anyway. But I'm just trying to get answers because it's like why can't I have a normal existence? And I like all I was about to say is I just remember from a kid like just like being loved for, being taken care of, but certain things being said and certain things being done to break your spirit and put you down. And it's like people can't come to terms with that and admit that. I understand nobody's perfect. I understand that people try their best and they did their best, man. I have great parents. They're great. They're wonderful. I love them. You know, I love them with all my heart. They're great. They're wonderful. I appreciate them. But it's just like the stress, and it's just like wow, not realizing that as a kid, not realizing that like all like why I constantly felt like I was walking on eggshells, why I constantly felt guilty, why I constantly felt like I always had like this large overwhelming feeling of guilt as a child, just like not wanting to do anything wrong, not wanting to make up, not wanting to mess up, not wanting to make no mistakes. Everything got to be perfect, you know. And that's not the case. That's never going to be the case. Nobody's ever perfect. And it's just like I understand people want you to do good, people want you to be right, but it's like it's only so much pressure you can take before you break, you know. And like I said, I love him to death, man. But this whole job situation, and like just the other day, I went to go get because I do security. Went to go get a security job, and I'm filling out my information, and I could feel that like you could feel people energy switch. They liked me at first. I'm filling out the paperwork after the interview. Like I told them too much because like they asked me and all I do is tell them what they ask, what they want to know. She asked me where have I done security before. I told her I did security at Alabama. Because I told her I did security out of state. Oh boy, now her brother's this ultra star superstar security guard for this nightclub and he carries a gun and his life is so amazing and his life's better than everybody. I'm like, oh okay, cool, that's nice, um wonderful. And it's like everybody's in competition with you. You can't even finish your story when you're a chosen one. You be like, oh yeah, man, I had a great time. I did this and that, and they'll interrupt you, and you'll just be like, what the? You'll just be trying to talk to these people and just trying to tell them regular stuff. But it's like when you're chosen, you ain't regular. So she's interviewing me, and then at the end of the interview, it went from when can you start to I have some other interviews. Basically, we're not giving you this job. She didn't even look at me when I left. You think I'm sending her my banking and my routing information? No. Like, why would I? Like, why do these jobs? Like, that's another thing. Why will jobs try to take your information and not even hire you? It's like they got your social security number, they got your routing information for your direct deposit, they got where you live. Like, I think they just want to find out information about you so they could like stalk you, you know? Because it's like, why else would you? And yo, when I told her where I lived, and she was like, "Oh yeah, my parents live there too." Like, just gaslighting the crap out of me, and it's like certain things, like if you tell people you live a certain place and it's nice and you're a chosen one, they're going to tell you that they live there too, and they're going to lie to you and gaslight you. Oh, I live there too. Okay. And it's like you could tell it's like not real. Even if it was real, it's like that's a real weird ass way to tell somebody. But at the end of the interview, I could just tell, I'm like, yo, they're not going to give me this job, and I don't think I'm getting that job, y'all. But I could care less because God's always there for me. You know, I always have something. You know, God will never leave you or forsake you. So I just keep that in mind. And that's another thing too. I just been working on getting a job, man, and because I just moved from one area to another area. And the same thing happened at the last area. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter where you go. And like don't let being a chosen one drive you to like drink more than a normal person. I've had people who didn't know anything about me outside of a job, but they watched me outside of that job, and now they're talking about what I'm doing. Oh, you about to go get something to drink after work? How do you know that? How in the hell do you know that? People watch you. Like when you leave that job, you think you're just leaving that job and going home. No, people are following you, chosen ones. People are following you from your home to the store, to where you live, to the market, to the corner store, to your friend's house. They're following you. And then because they want to know what you do, they want to have something to talk about. They want to try to get some dirt on you because they see that you're such a good person, or they see that you have God or whatever it is, and they want to find something. They want to find something out about you so they can go talk about it, spread it. Oh, I seen him go there. And even if they don't want to find out something bad, they just want to know everything you do so they can go talk about it. Oh, I know everything he does. Because you keep your business, if you keep your business to yourself at these jobs and you don't tell them everything you do, if you're Mr. Mysterio or Mrs. Mysterio, these people at these jobs, when you're a chosen one, they're going to find out what it is you do. Don't you work out before you leave, your manager going to be like, oh, I'm about to go to the gym, knowing damn well that all he about to do is go watch you go do some jump ropes because he was watching you do it for the past week. After work every day, you go home and work out. They're watching you. These people don't have any life at all, and trying to work around them, and you actually have a life. When you have a life around people who have no life, they're jealous. And you're chosen. The fact that you're a chosen one, that gives you a life. The fact that you have a purpose, that gives you a life. The fact that you have God, that gives you a life. Only thing people have to look forward to is television shows. That's mostly what people are looking forward to. If they don't have a life, only thing most people are looking forward to is TV. And when you have more to look forward to than that, people are gonna feel some type of way about you. When you go to work and you're not talking about Love and Hip Hop and the game that was on last night, or what was on the news, and you're not complaining about stuff, you're not worried about this, you're not talking about gas prices, you're not worried about inflation, stuff like that, stuff that just the world mind, stuff that worldly people think about. Like people that believe in God don't worry about the price of stuff because they have God. They're like, God got that. It ain't nothing for God to throw you a little extra $60, extra $100. That ain't nothing. He's the creator, man. That ain't nothing for God, okay? And it's like, I worked there, right? And once, because I had a little, once I had a little thing going on, right? And I had just came into some money, just a little, just not even a lot, just a little bit of money. And I was using it to take care of myself, and I had a job. Went and bought these earrings, went and got myself that necklace y'all see me wearing. Went and got myself a bike because I'm working towards getting a vehicle. And yeah, once they saw how fast I got, because like my shoes were literally talking at that job. The sole of my shoe was separated, but I still walked to work. I still came to work proudly. Made sure I smelled good. Made sure my hair was brushed, laid. Would have a haircut when I was able to get a haircut. And I went from like people would still hate on me even when my shoes were talking, when my clothes smelled. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed to say it. I went through that. The laundromat was broken at the place where I lived at. That's a whole nother story. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So my clothes might have been not as clean. My shoes not they didn't smell. They were old because I always made sure my clothes were clean. My shoes had a little odor to them because they got hit by when I was washing dishes working at this job. Man, I got stories for y'all. When I was in Alabama working at this, before I went to Florida, I was in Alabama working at this job, and then the sink overflowed, and the manager, he said, "Oh, if I gotta get hit by it, you gotta get hit by it too." And being a chosen one, thinking that like being in a new place, not having nothing, not having anyone, taking care of myself on my own. This is before I got afraid and thought I needed to call somebody for help. Worst mistake in my life. But anyway, I'm at the job and the sink overflows, and I go to clean it up, and my shoes get mildewed, y'all. My shoes, my $250 Nike trainers got mildewed. So I washed them, and the smell was still there. I didn't know. And then I was walking too on top of that, so the sweat, the mildew, don't click off nobody. Um, that had my shoes kind of reeking, and like I would like those shoes smelled, and I would go to job interviews because I didn't have any money for anything else at the time. I was using my money for food and rent and transportation, and paying for Ubers, paying for taxis, being in a new area, not knowing much about it, and I'm going to job interviews with collared shirts on and khaki pants. I look nice, but my shoes would smell, man. And then like the job would hire me, and then people would be making fun of me and cracking jokes about my shoes, not knowing that like I'm damn near homeless and I don't have no place to go. And I didn't have no place to go. And I still don't have no place to go. Don't let this house that you see me in fool you. I don't have no place to go right now, but I'm working on. I'm blessed to be able to have a place. Don't get it twisted. I'm extremely grateful. I just can't deal with being put down every 5 seconds. But not every 5 seconds, but y'all get what I mean. I can't deal with being put down, man. Um, but I'm at the jobs and I'm getting hired, and then I got new clothes. Like I went to work with these clothes for a while that had smelled and that weren't clean and that looked dirty, and I would get jobs and stuff like that. And then after a while of people just gaslighting you and talking bad about you, I mean, out in the open to your face, like people walking around talking about what's that smell, you know what I'm saying, knowing that they're talking about me, knowing that they're low-key taking shots at me because I either don't find them attractive, because I'm not all up in their face kissing their behind, because I'm not telling them my life story. Like I was in a new area. I had to find a job. I didn't want anybody knowing my personal business, so I just work and go home. But when you don't want people knowing your personal business, when you don't talk to people like that, when you know that people are going to treat you different the second you open your mouth because you're a chosen one, so you just stay to yourself and want to be left alone, people are going to treat you different. But it's because you have a high vibration. It's because you're high vibrational. You have a different level of energy. That's why they make you do all the work. That's why they want to stress you out. They want to drain all that energy from you. So when you go home, you're dead tired and you have none of that energy to yourself. That's what they want to do. They want to drain you of all that energy, and they don't want you to go home and be able to work out. They don't want you to be able to go home and work on your goals. They don't want you to be able to go home and plan that dream out and turn it into a reality. They want you to be able to have just enough energy to drag your ass back to work the next day, so they can keep breaking your spirit and putting you down and acting like they're not doing it. This job I'm talking about is McDonald's, and for right now, I went to McDonald's. I would work there. I was in Florida working in McDonald's with those shoes that smell, by the way. And man, I had bought a new pair of shoes, and this machine flooded. So it's like, I don't know if they flooded it on purpose or what. But that day, a lot of people had the little bag wrapped on their shoes. And then the day that, of course, after I get some new shoes, they get mildewed again. So now my shoes are smelling again. So I'm not sure if they did that on purpose or what. Maybe it was God trying to humble me. Maybe it was just my experience, so I'd have a story to tell. Who knows? But I get the new shoes. But at that job, when I had got hired, I read the employee manual, and about 5 to 10 people came in when I'm filling out the little onboarding for the job and I'm reading employee manuals and stuff like that. What are you doing reading that? You don't have to read that. You could just skim through that. You don't have to read that. I read it anyway. And then after I read it, that's when the games begin. Everybody at that job started doing everything that you are not supposed to do in the employee manual. Standing, like when you're at a job and people are being an asshole and they stand in your way to the point where you have to move to the side or you have to say excuse me to them because they're in the head, they're jealous or they're envious, so they're just going to stand there and block your way to try to frustrate you or upset you. That's bullying. That's harassment. That's a form of bullying, and that's a form of harassment. Check your employee manual. You can sue for that. When it's done over a long period of time, it's called a hostile work environment, and you can sue for that. And that McDonald's job, man, I just like it's a small space. It's not like you have halls. It's not like you can walk around, get away from people. When you work at those jobs like that, you are right up under that demonic energy, and they're right there pouring it all on you. So it's like they're making me say excuse me, and they're making me say can I please get by, and stuff like that, all because they're rude. But they don't understand that they don't understand that the only thing stopping me from slapping them in the face is God. They don't understand the only thing that from me elbowing you upside the head is God. Because at that point, I could care less about going to jail. But I knew that wouldn't be the idea either, because I knew I wouldn't, if I don't do well in this environment with the people who went to jail and then came back and got a job. I knew I'd end up having, and I'm having to fight for my job. If I ever went to jail, I'd have to kill to stay alive. And I know that for a fact. So that's why I don't plan on going there, because if I'm not a killer, why would I want to just go to jail to just have to be a killer and kill somebody? So long story short, y'all, I'm at the McDonald's job. The people are doing anything and everything to try to upset me, piss me off, talking about, like, yo, they'd be talking about me to my face, in a group of each other, not thinking that I know that they're talking about me. And it may sound crazy to people who haven't experienced this, but this is what people do. People will talk about you in a circle, in a group. They'll talk about you, talk about things that are related to you, to let you know that they are talking about you, but they won't say your name. They do that to try to get in your head. They want to piss you off. They want to upset you. When people see you're at peace at these jobs, they're going to do that. They're going to get in their group, talk shit about you to themselves, but so you can hear it, and so they don't get in trouble. They're not going to mention you specifically, but everything they're saying is going to be in reference to you. So I'm saying excuse me, I'm saying yes sir, I'm saying yes ma'am, like, and these people are still disrespecting me and not treating me with respect. So after like, because like they see you're under a lot of pressure, they make you do everything at the job. They were making me do everything. I had to fill the ice, I had to make the food, and I was cool with all that. And that's the thing, I'm cool with all that. But once, and they try to break you by making you do everything. Once they see that they can't break you, that's when the insults come. That's when the throwing under the bus comes. That's when they have to really get in your head and break your spirit, and they'll come at you more than once. And if you don't want to play their little game, if you don't want to kiss their behind, if you don't want to treat them like they're royalty and kiss their feet every time you're at that job, you're over with. You're done. But that was McDonald's. The next job, after that job, I get this job at Dollar General. And that was the job where I had left off, where I was talking about how I had just got all this new stuff. I just had to tell y'all about the McDonald's job. So my clothes had got ruined, but then I came into a little bit of money. And after working at Dollar General with dirty, stinky clothes, and then I come there looking like a bag of money, haircut, earrings, necklace on, new shoes, new clothes, working in new clothes. I bought a brand new black tee, went to work. I wanted to feel good. I was dirty for like a whole 2 months. I wanted to feel clean. I like feeling good. Who doesn't like looking nice? But the thing is, when people get an idea of you, when people get an image of you in their mind, when you're chosen, and when you're coming up, and when you're dirty at first, that's the only way they want to see you. They don't want to see you looking good. They don't want to see you looking new. They don't want to see you with brand new things. They want to see you. And then I had got a bike on top of that, so I didn't have to pay for gas, and I lived 3 minutes away from the job. People's car falling apart, and they trying to get to work. So once they see that I had money and stuff like that, they cut my hours back. How evil is that? They're laughing about it. Oh man, that's not enough money. Talking to each other right in my face, gaslighting me, knowing that I have to pay $300 a week for my rent. And these are the people that cut my hours back, all because I went and got some new clothes, all because I went and got some new things, just a little bit of stuff, man. But the thing is, that shows you when you're chosen, they don't want to see you with anything. They don't want to see you have nothing. They really don't. They don't. They could care less if you eat or not, or if you have a place to sleep at. That's all I was trying to do, was make sure I had some food, make sure I looked nice. So a little girl might want to come over. Excuse me, a woman might want to come over my apartment. Have a little female over or something. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's really all I wanted to do, just normal everyday life stuff. But when you're chosen, people already feel you have too much. They already feel you have too much. They already feel you have it all. when you're just trying to go to the store and get your little pizza, or go to the store and get your little drink and go home and eat and just have a little meal all by yourself, that's too much for people. Number one, they're going crazy because it's like, how's this person enjoying themselves by themselves all alone, making it work for themselves? And number two, they think you have too much when you just have the bare minimum. That's why they want the chosen ones to have nothing. That's why they won't hire you. That's why they won't give you no hours. That's why they'll cut your hours back. They want you to have nothing. They think $100 for you is too much money. Literally, they think, oh, he got 100. That's too much money for him. Like, they literally, because they saw I could buy some new clothes, because that's the thing. They thought I sold drugs, because they were like, yo, where's he get? Because they knew they weren't giving me enough hours to live. The hours didn't even add up enough to fully pay my rent. So they got in their little demonic circle. They got in their little demonic group, and they're like, how is he able to buy the new clothes, pay his rent, not be homeless, and we're not even paying him enough? Let's cut his hours back to see how much money he really has. Or let's cut his hours back and make him use all that money. And how jealous is that? How awful is that for people to do? That's what happened to me right in Pensacola, Florida, at the Dollar General. Yep, right there. And the people are evil. And it's like, they like, when I worked there, the customers would do me dirty, because people told all my business. I wanted to keep myself low key. Once they figured out I wanted to keep my business to myself and stuff like that, it was over. The managers talk to people, and then they tell people where you're from. He's from here. Like, people look at your business. They go into records, look at your ID, see where you're from, see where you live, all this stuff. So you're trying to stay low key, but then you have people talking to you in front of oh, you're from here? And it's like, yo, like, and then they're like, they don't care. And it's like, I care. It's my personal business. Number one, how do you know? Number two, why are you spreading my business? I don't see you spreading your business. And it's just weird being around these people at these jobs. It's like they're true devils. It's like whatever you do for you that's good, they'll do the opposite. Whatever you want to do for you that's good, they'll do the opposite. You want to be peaceful, you want to be quiet, you don't want no problems. They'll be the opposite. They're going to be loud, they're going to be rowdy, they're going to be problematic. It's all anything to be the opposite of what you think is good, because they see and they gaslight you about God at the job. They're like, oh, praise the Lord. Like, they see that you're a peaceful, God-loving person. So they want anything to get on your nerves. They'll be a whole devil if they have to. They'll be the total exact opposite. And it's like, this is rough, man, experiencing this type of stuff at jobs. And then you try to go talk to people about it. Oh, that doesn't happen. Why does it happen to you at every job? Do you know, don't you know that I wish I knew why this happened to me at every job? This was just a little bit of me explaining to you certain things that happened to me at jobs. And it's all I want to do is go to work and work. But it's difficult having to go to work, and people are purposely trying to get in your way. People are purposely trying to upset you and piss you off. How do you expect a person to deal with that? And it's like, you don't see them treating other people like that. You don't see them treating, and they knew what they were doing. People know what they're doing. People know that people see that you're chosen. These people see that you have your anointing, and they want to attack you for it. They hate you just because of who you are, because who God chose you to be. And then when you try to talk to people about it, because people didn't get chosen by God, you can only talk to this with a chosen one. If you try to talk to somebody who don't understand, even if they do understand, because they're not chosen, they're not going to want to hear it. They will gaslight you about it. And it's like having this problem for so many years, man. Like, I'm telling y'all, I worked at McDonald's, I worked at Burger King, I worked at Wendy's, I worked at ShopRite, I worked at Walmart, I worked at little mom and pop restaurants. I worked for Ross, I worked for Arby's, I worked for security companies, I worked for factories, I worked for doing maintenance work, lawn care. What else? Heritage. I done worked any place you could think of. I done worked at, man. And it's been the same thing at every job. There's always the same people. And no matter how hard I try to be peaceful, no matter how hard I try to just go to work and stay low key and stay under the radar. It's nothing that you could be doing that wrong, man. There are people at jobs that cause problems. There are people at jobs that are getting high. There are people at jobs that, you know what I'm saying, the addicts that show up to work, you know, they'll hire an addict, they'll hire a toxic person and give them all the hours before they give you the hours. All because you're a good person, all because you have a high energy. All right. When you have high energy, you have high intelligence, and they know that you know how to do more with that money than the average person. They know that. They know you know what to do with that money. That's why they don't want to give it to you. They know because you're chosen, you could do a little bit, you could do a lot with a little bit. They know that.